the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back, everyone, to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal, Ruhl in for D-Mac. No Darren McCarty today. Why not? It's Canada Day. So that's why I have my Montreal Expos hat on in honor of Canada Day. You know, maybe he has some Canadian in him somewhere down the line. He is he is our guy.
Somewhere.
Mr. Jeff Iafrate here in the building. We have Sam Flannel as well. Spencer Raxter is here. The evening got away from Spence a little bit last night, but he's here. He's battling. We got Chris in the booth as well, and Chris was the one that triggered the show today. So, you know, we're feeling Chris out here, you know, so we'll see how things go. You know, the
10-day contract.
Yeah, he absolutely. He's on a two-way deal right now. We'll see if we can get him called up to the big club, I guess, as you would say. But happy to have everybody with us. It is a Friday. It is a getaway day for a holiday weekend. We ran this back on Memorial Day, but I would imagine anybody who's working in an office anywhere, production's at an all-time low today. Let's just be real.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of that, actually, me, Ryan, and Maz went out a couple days ago to Coney Island. We waited 45 minutes, couldn't even get a Coney dog. It's been rough. But today, I'm feeling it. I'm happy to be here, and I'm excited because free agency yesterday, my favorite time of the year, NBA free agency. Let's get into it.
We will, certainly. We'll have some NBA stuff for you, certainly in the second hour of the show. But it was good for us yesterday, good for this industry, good for this business, because all hell broke loose yesterday afternoon. Right about the second we left the studio here, everything went down. The Big Ten adding USC, UCLA. I'll break all that down for you. It's a pretty simple breakdown, but we will get to that. The Red Wings finally announced their coach as well. Derek Lolande, the assistant coach from the Tampa Bay Lightning. I believe his press conference is going on as we speak. We have eyes and ears on it. Anything notable happens, certainly we will get all of that to you. But as you said also, the NBA free agency went guns blazing. Kevin Durant wants out of Brooklyn. I mean, because this is supposed to be the slow time in this business, and it's been anything but.
No, I can't even walk to the bathroom and take a leak before I have to check my phone again. So I've been on high alert the last couple of days, especially yesterday being free agency, the first official day. And the Pistons made some moves, of course, but not only just that, a lot of players that Pistons fans were excited for next year signed extensions. So it was a very eventful first day of free agency, and I think it's only going to get more entertaining. So a lot of Miles Bridges stuff coming out as well. So it's been interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, and Born Cool asked, will you guys be airing the Wings 11 a.m. presser at all? No, because press conferences are awful to watch. Let's be real. I mean, we do it better for you, Born Cool. See, here's what we do. We're going to keep doing the show, and then our production people in the back, in case there's anything notable, we'll be able to jump into it. So I think that's what we're gonna do here, and
that sounds way better.
Yeah, like we're gonna do the hard part for you, and we'll just get you the good stuff. So that's how we will do it. But yeah, as we said, a lot of news, and I know that everyone is going to talk about the Big Ten situation. Isaac Paredes, by the way, went deep again, much to Nick Leach's dismay.
Nick Leach, man, the myth, the legend. I defer to him for all the golf knowledge.
Yeah, so you know that's a funny thing that's going on with Paredes as well. But I did want to get into this with the Big Ten expansion, and again we'll get into the Derek Lalonde thing as after the press conference wraps up. But the Big Ten announced out of the blue, and then 30 seconds later it was signed, sealed, and delivered. USC, UCLA in the fold now for the Big Ten. And how do you want it like right out of the gate? Like I'm asking the people out there, like do you want the breakdown of why this is happening? Because I know everyone's going to have thoughts on it, and they're going to see. But what was your initial reaction to this when you heard it?
A little shocked, but the more I thought about it, like as a consumer, I love it. From a business perspective, I get it. With the SEC, basically going back to when they kidnapped Oklahoma and Texas, like I kind of knew this was coming eventually. I mean, the effect that these TV deals have, especially on the Big Ten and what they're trying to do, it makes sense. But it's going to be interesting. I mean, you got some of the biggest markets in the country, and I think it's a positive thing ultimately. But as a consumer, I love it, Neal.
Yeah, and I'm curious to know, and I want to run this on the YouTube chat poll, because as Big Ten fans, do you like this? Very simple. Do you like this? And Sam Flannel, I'll go to you as a resident Michigan slappy of the show. Huge Michigan baseball guy. Now, how does this impact Michigan baseball? Let's be real. That's what the people want to know. I'm kidding. But Sam Flannel, as far as you're concerned, where are you at with the Big Ten expansion, adding UCLA and USC?
Well, it's kind of incredible that the Big Ten will have Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York City all in one conference. It's something that you could have never envisioned even like 2 years ago. But at the same time, as a Michigan fan with USC and Lincoln Riley and the crew coming into the conference, that kind of scares me a bit. I think the chances of Michigan winning Big Ten titles goes significantly down, and I don't like that. But having those type of names in the conference, that's pretty cool, and it's something that I don't think anybody even 6 months ago could have envisioned.
Yeah, and it is incredible how this all came together so rapidly, in that a report leaked, and then it was done.
Boom.
Like we've never no, but I mean, in this day and age, right, of insiders and social media and people making their brand off knowing what's going on, that was the biggest stunner to me. It's not. I mean, this. I've said this for years, and you guys know this even since I came on the air here. I envisioned a day where the SEC would just break away from the NCAA and say, "Hey, we're doing our own thing here. We'll get our own TV deal. We don't need you. We don't need your oversight and things like that." But in this, that's what's the most impressive about this.
Yeah.
The way they kept it on the low.
Yeah, it was abrupt, and I think ultimately you're going to end up, dealing with the situation, and you may like it, you may not. A 16-team playoff, something around that number, and again, like all these moves go back to the same point I've been making, and that's how valuable, number one, these TV deals are to these, especially to the Big Ten and the SEC and stuff. But looking at alone, like you have Oregon and Washington. I mean, this may not be the first, and it may not be the last, but I'm excited. The Pac-12 is slowly being put out of their misery, and I think it's already begun.
I'm curious about this because, and I've heard this, where Brandon Katz says Michigan will have to play more than 3 good teams in a year now. The bottom of the Big Ten has been trashed for a long time with people like Indiana, Maryland, and Illinois. And, but only by 1 because UCLA is a West Coast Penn State.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm gonna relate this to everybody here.
Right.
UCLA is a West Coast Penn State. I hear about it. I hear about it all the time, but I never see it with UCLA. That's what's funny to me about it.
Show us.
Yeah. I hear about it all the time.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
The days of yore with UCLA and how they were a power and everything like that. Like,
yeah.
You are Penn State.
Yeah.
That's what you are. You're TCU. You're just like everybody else.
It's really USC and Lincoln Riley, like what they're going to be able to do, and they've already started obviously with Caleb Williams. By the time they do enter the Big Ten, though, I'm sure there'll be another 5-star quarterback, and their team will be even better. So that's the big threat for Michigan, really. I mean, USC is going to be a monster, and they're coming to the Big Ten, so get comfortable.
Yeah, and I'd like to just address this one too. Jason Norman, regular viewer and listener to the show, says, I love it because I'd like to see USC and UCLA play in the snow at the Big House or Spartan Stadium in November. Like, USC plays Notre Dame on the road, like, later in the year.
Like
I mean, like, that's nothing's more overblown than that. How many games? There's, like, one a year. Like, Michigan-Ohio State, it snows that day.
Right.
And then, because Michigan State's always playing Penn State, it snows that day. And, like, that's it. I mean,
I'm sure they'll be fine. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah, they will. I always thought that was overblown. And look, man, I'll address this stuff too. D Wingsman says, is the travel going to cause problems? Cross country takes its toll. No.
Yeah.
That's the other, like, this geography thing and this travel thing. No. When you have $100 million per school television deals, guess what you do? You get your own airplane.
Yeah.
And, I mean, even at Oakland, we do this on road trips. We leave campus, we go to Oakland International Airport, we get on the charter flight, we go. Like, say we're playing Kansas. We fly 2 hours to Kansas, we land, we get to the hotel, we play Kansas, the game's over, we go straight from the arena to the airport, and we fly right back home. We're home by 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Like that's.
But then you got a game the next couple days as well.
Yeah, but I mean, but that stuff's so overblown because that's why obviously that's why you want to take them both. You don't want one outlier. And let's be real too about the Olympic sports and stuff like that. Can we just be honest about it for a second right now? That's not what this is about.
No.
And will life be harder for them? Certainly it will be.
Yeah.
But they do have a travel partner when they go out there and play. And Sam Flannel, I know that was your first question. How does this impact Michigan baseball? Like I know it was. And Michigan fans out there, huge baseball fans they are. How does it impact Michigan baseball? It doesn't. Nothing changes.
No, nothing changes. Although the West Coast, those have had traditionally some baseball powerhouses. So maybe them coming into the Big Ten Conference, they might actually do some damage. But, I mean, we're just kind of like messing around. Nobody really cares about college baseball, especially in the Big Ten. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. So, it's one of those things. And we're hearing that where people are talking about it, and the geography thing comes into play. The Olympic sport thing comes into play. Mm-hmm. The bottom line is this. And the next segment, I'm gonna break it down, like give you the numbers. Everybody's saying that, right? That's the buzzword around town. Everybody, TV markets. Games are on in L.A. and Chicago and New York now. I'll give you the figures on it, like the breakdown of it, of how that actually works and why this move was made. This move wasn't made for geography. It wasn't made for Olympic sports. It wasn't made for academic institutions, which UCLA is an incredible campus.
Right.
I mean, incredible. When we went out there to play, when they had Zach LaVine and Kyle Anderson, we played them that year, and we went out there to play. Like, you stand up there on the top of that hill on campus there, and you're like, wow.
Different.
I hope my children go here. And then I was talking to some of the basketball people there, and they said, well, at UCLA, essentially, this is overstating it a little bit, but he said, essentially, everyone who applies, you take anyone under a 4-point, and you rake those off into the trash. And then you go from there, and then you admit your 15,000 people from there. I mean, it's a prestigious academic institution. It's an incredible campus, all that kind of stuff. But that doesn't matter either. That wasn't the point of it. And in the next segment, I'll break down, just exactly what happened and why it's being done. And yes, money is the answer. We all know that. That's always the answer. But I'll give you the figures to it and exactly how it works. And here's a great one, Jeff, is I'm going to explain to you guys how Rutgers made this all possible. For real.
I'm curious for that, yeah.
Yeah, for you Big Ten fans, you all of you, Sam Flannel, Spencer, you owe Rutgers a lot because they're the ones that enabled this to happen.
They died on the cross.
They crawled so you guys could walk. Like that's it's true though. It's true, and I'm going to break it down all for you. 9 Drink says there's an Oregon in the mix too, and that's the question, right? Like what happens with Oregon, and we'll have to see exactly how it all shakes out. Chili Damon says the $1 billion plus new television deal is what it's all about, right? And that's how it always has been and how it always will be. But Rutgers was the gatekeeper to it. Frank Daniel says Big Ten motto cream. That's cash does rule everything around me.
That's absolutely true.
And Cintron
money.
Yeah, absolutely. Cintron's ruling the summer as well. And, I'll tell you about Cintron after our good associate here. Well, you want to do it now? Let's do it now then, Chris. Let's do it now. I jumped the gun on it. That's on me. But, hey, it's a holiday weekend. We're getting ready to get away for the weekend. And if you want to participate in the new energy drink for the active lifestyle, you can drink it and live it with Cintron. They're proud partners of Little Caesars Arena, the Detroit Pistons, the Red Wings, the Tigers, and of course, Detroit City FC. And now it's available at your local Kroger as well. Haven't tried it yet? 2 cans, $4. Give it a spin. You'll be back. Drink it, live it with Cintron.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Neal Ruhl here to tell you all summer long the Monroe Street Midway is open in downtown Detroit. Enjoy basketball, roller skating, mini golf, art, live music, food trucks, and more. It's a fun, safe event for everybody ages 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com. Again, that's deckedoutdetroit.com for more information on the Monroe Street Midway, brought to you by Bedrock Detroit. Off and running. We got eyes and ears on the Derek Lalonde press conference right now. Anything notable happened, certainly we'll get to that. But after that wraps up, we'll be talking about that a little bit in this hour as well. A news bombshell went off yesterday, certainly with the Red Wings and also with the Big Ten and their announcement. Neal Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate here in for DMAC, who's living it up because it's Canada Day today. I wore the Montreal Expos hat. We have Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Chris is in the building as well. We're feeling him out right now to see exactly what he is all about. We put up in the YouTube chat poll. Do you like this Big Ten thing? Do you like it? 70% of you say yes. 30% of you say no. And, you know, it's one of the things for me. And, look, I dispelled the geography part of it. And let me address this real quick too, Jeff, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lane Hartman says if you want academics, you can add Stanford, Go Card, and Cal. Then Washington, Oregon join, and we get the Big 20. Lane, like, no one cares about the academics. No one cares, and I would think that the Stanford Cal thing would happen before the Oregon thing. And you say, wow, how can that be? No one cares about the academics. Let's just get that out of the way. That San Jose, San Francisco television market. That's what's next. That's the next big prize, believe it or not. But the Big Ten is uniquely positioned to capitalize on this thing. And I do want to tell you why. And 9 drinks on the YouTube chat thread. If you have 2 furnaces, you can explain the money situation.
I mean, it gives you the right.
That's fair. But here's the deal. And I talked about this before we went to the break. Rutgers was the one that really made all this go. And you remember back, and I forget the exact year, but you remember when they added Rutgers and Maryland.
Yep.
And people just kind of,
who?
Why? And then, come to find out that when you add Rutgers and Maryland, you add the New York and Washington, D.C. television market. And you say, well, Neal, the games are on everywhere anyway. How is that relevant? Let me explain to you how it's relevant. For the Big Ten Network, despite the fact that they haven't won a national title in basketball since the Flintstones were playing at Michigan State, despite the fact that they routinely get thrashed by the SEC in the college football playoff. I know Ohio State broke through once, okay? Save that. Despite all those facts, let me tell you something where the Big Ten is dominant in. The Big Ten Network and the business model for the Big Ten Network is unquestioned the greatest success of all the conferences in terms of what they've done with media. Take that a step further. When they added Rutgers and Maryland on your cable package or your satellite package, the Big Ten gets roughly about 60 cents for every subscriber that subscribes to some form. And I know that there's a lot of cord cutting. I'll address that a little bit later on. They get about 60 cents per subscriber. It's like 58 or something. I'm just rounding it for easy number's sake. So when you add New York and you add Washington, D.C., is there a lot of people that subscribe to television?
There is.
There is.
There is.
And now the Big Ten Network becomes a piece of that. Now they're available on all these platforms in these cities. So fast forward it to now when you add, and this is the numbers behind it. So think of the millions of subscribers that are all paying you 60 cents every month to consume your channel. Now you move that to LA. And look, let me let you know another dirty little secret about sports in LA and the media network and all that stuff. They don't care out there. They don't care. And why would you? If you've ever been to LA, you would know why.
Yep. Sports
are like the last thing, from your mind. They don't care out there. But what they do care about are the millions of people that live there that watch television. So they get this. They're rerunning the same playbook that they did with Rutgers and Maryland. So Rutgers coming in, for as much as everybody laughs at it, they laid the groundwork for this to happen, and that's why it's big. The reason that USC and UCLA are leaving the Pac-12 is because the Pac-12 gets about 11 cents per subscriber for the Pac-12 network.
That's big time.
6 times the revenue you're getting for the Big Ten Network. Now that's planted in Los Angeles, where how many millions of people subscribe to cable systems. And you say, well, Neal, everybody's cutting the cable now. Perfect. If you're the Big Ten Network, perfect, because now I can charge you $10 a month instead of 60 cents. There'll be less people, but you'll be paying far more for it, and you will, because live sports are the last DVR-proof thing that's left. That's it. That's the numbers behind all this. So the travel, the academics, the geography, the Olympic sports, none of that matters. They're the Dons. The Big Ten are the Dons when it comes to revenue generation. They're the best in the business at it. And what they have over the SEC are those markets.
That's
Los Angeles, Chicago, New York. Like, for as passionate as the SEC fans are, it's still Birmingham. It's still, you get Atlanta, obviously, and now with them adding Texas, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's very huge. But, I mean, Oklahoma and Mississippi State, they're passionate, but they're just not numbers.
Yeah, the Texas one is the big one. And that's why we talked about it. Like, that's why it's crazy now how much of an influence the TV deals have on all these moving parts. Like, that's the key to these. That's the big ingredient in this pot. So to Neal hit on those points, I agree with you 100%. I mean, it's a good thing for me. That's why I'm expecting more to go and more to happen. But just looking at it from face value, it makes perfect sense to me. Like, this is a business move strictly, and even from a consumer, I love it. So I don't have a problem with it. I get it. Neal educated us on why. There's always a why, like D-Mac always preaches, and you hit it right on the head.
Yeah, and it's just the massive amount of television. Yeah, television revenue, and that's what it is. And it's football driven, and to not quite the same extent, but in the ballpark, it's basketball driven, and that's it.
Right.
And I know Sam Flannel is disappointed that Michigan baseball wasn't consulted, and I know the 225 people that go to Michigan baseball games that come out, and really jump on board when the regionals come around. I know that they're going to be disappointed because it'll be a little more travel for them.
Yeah,
but
they'll be heartbroken.
They will. But again, that's just the way it is, guys. And this is only going to continue. And there are a lot of questions here in the YouTube chat thread about Clemson. Jack Harrington, Neal, what do you think Clemson will do now? I think Clemson.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, and I think Clemson will try to go down with the ship on the ACC. And Notre Dame's a wild card for the ACC. If they're able to hold on to them, and you have Florida State and Miami and the U and everything like that. See, Dabo's funny to me because I think Dabo likes being in the ACC.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And more than that, I think Dabo likes not being in the SEC.
Oh, yeah. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't not love to be in the SEC? Especially, I mean, from a business perspective, it makes sense. But if you're Dabo Swinney and you've established a legacy in the ACC, why in the hell would I go join the big dogs? Especially with Oklahoma and Texas joining in a couple of years. So it makes sense from a football perspective, no doubt.
Brandon Katz says most people won't pay more for games. They'll just stream them for free. And Brandon, see, here's the deal too, though. With all this massive revenue influx, and you're never going to stop it. I understand that. You're never going to stop it. But the technology to crack down on that, certainly.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying here, man. And not what's the percent? Most people are just going to make it easy and pay for it.
Yeah, if you got 80% paying for it, 20% streaming it, it's like, okay, if we can break it down to 10%, you'll take it.
Right.
It's not the end of the world.
And Look, the crack streams and everything like that, the people that watch UFC fights, and we know the people that do it and we know the people that do it and everything like that. With the pop-up windows all of a sudden popping up in the middle of the best fight and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's one of those things where if you want to see the quality of it go up, you're going to pay for it, man. You are.
Absolutely, yeah.
Big Play J, Neal with the perfect financial breakdown. And now Neal break down how I can save on auto and home insurance. Big Play J, send them over. Send them over.
Yeah, don't count Neal out. He can do it all, man. He can do it all.
Yeah, Frank Daniel says, my free sports app is undefeated. And for now it is, Frank. And again, you're in the minority. You just are, man. And don't think too. See, that's why I love the people that are standing up there. Well, I watch it off my pirate stream and watch it that way. You don't think they haven't accounted for that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is $1 billion, business plan. Every single angle has been covered. But again, I mean, for me, Frank Daniel, the 225 Michigan baseball fans. Man, chill, LOL. Well, Frank, no, during the season, like at the games, it's 225. When they're on regionals on ESPN+, then all of a sudden the social media Michigan baseball posts get 3,000 likes and everybody comments go blue. Only 225 of you go to the game. Those are the facts.
So accurate. It's so accurate. The social media point is absolutely true because it's funny you say that because I just saw a post when they were playing too and it blew up.
Yeah. Brandon, Clemson gets to win 10 games almost every year by just showing up in the ACC. They won't leave. And I don't know. And somebody earlier said this. Jack says, man, Neal, you're a savage to Sam Flannel. Well, somebody's got to bounce. There has to be, there has to be repayment for that nonsense that he sits up here and spews. Somebody's got to the father figure has to step in and dominate at some point, Jeff.
You know who else has to step in and dominate? Lady Jane's. Because as you guys know, we broadcast live from the headquarters of Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Birmingham, Michigan. It's definitely awesome for me to get off the air, get myself good looking great by one of their talented stylists. Open 10 days a week, 7 days. Walk in anytime. Relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, you will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Neal Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate back at you here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We're talking right now, obviously, the Big Ten expansion, USC, UCLA. We will get into the Derek Lalonde situation coming up in just a couple of minutes. YouTube chat poll up there right now. Bottom line, do you like this? 74% of you say yes. Are you surprised by that number?
No, I'm not that surprised. Are you?
A little bit. I thought that, because what's the knock on the Big Ten? They're traditional. And see, here's where I make the mistake. And you guys know I'm a very self-aware person. I'll look into the camera and say I made a mistake. I mean, I'll do it. I think that I let the Michigan contingent seep into the Big Ten as a whole contingent. And the Big Ten, here's something, and this isn't a hot take, guys. This is just facts. And Sam, this may hurt your feelings a little bit. The Big Ten as a whole does circles around Michigan just in terms of the way that they operate, the way that they embrace the television network model, the way that they make moves that just out of the blue shock the foundation of not only the Big Ten, but college football across the country. The Big Ten, man, They're players up there in that conference office. They are the exact 180 of the way Michigan operates.
I mean, Michigan has kind of gotten in their own way throughout their whole history. They kind of like to embrace tradition. They even like to go back to the days, going football-wise, of like Bo Schembechler and 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and they don't like to embrace change. Michigan people do not like change at all. It's like they're like repellent to it. And you're right, Neal. I'm not even going to try to dispute that. You're absolutely right, even though, as a Michigan fan, I don't like it.
Rack says, I'm excited to see Michigan and Michigan State play UCLA twice a year in basketball now as well. And yeah, that's a fun little thing because USC's from a talent perspective in basketball, they've had talent. They've had individual talent like the Mobleys and the OJ Mayos and guys like that throughout the time. They had one Elite Eight run. I want to say one. Maybe when Mobley was, I don't remember the specific, and it doesn't matter. When you bottom line it, it doesn't matter. And it's one of those things too where you get UCLA. So I wonder now, will you Big Ten Elite? Will you guys claim UCLA basketball now?
Oh, like the John Wooden championships? Those were ours. Those were Big Ten. No, I mean, honestly, UCLA, they've been pretty much a mediocre program ever since John Wooden. They won one, I think, in the mid-'90s. Remember that Tyus Edney coast-to-coast? I think that was part of that run. But, I mean, USC and UCLA in basketball, I don't think they're going to add a whole lot. Neal, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they're fine. I mean, they're fine. I think they slide in there. They're equivalent to me to, like, Ohio State.
Yeah. Ohio State basketball, yeah. I mean, Ohio State basketball has had a few runs. They had that one team with Greg Oden and Daquan Cook
I think
Mike
actually
Conley.
that's a great comp on my part.
Yes.
Well done, Neal. Thanks.
Very good, Neal.
Yeah.
The old pat on the back.
That was right off the top of my head. That was a pretty good comp.
The more I thought about it, it makes sense. Ohio State and UCLA, definitely.
Yeah.
Good talent, but, few runs.
YT Sparty hits it on the head here. The people making these decisions are money people, not college people. And that's the difference. And you're seeing it everywhere. Who's the new commissioner of the Big 12? Where did he come from? Rock Nation. This is, make no mistake, guys, this is a revenue generating game. It has been for a long time, and it's never going to stop. And for me personally, like as a guy that's in college sports media and does play-by-play for the said broadcast, it's funny to me that here's something too about college sports, and I think that this would blow your mind as well. The amount of money colleges spend chasing ticket sales is absurd to me. Because when you look at these television rights deals, that's 10 years of ticket gates.
They'll take care of you.
The tickets are going away. Now you need the atmosphere and stuff like that.
The alumni and the
but you
students.
like those Saturday night Penn State games with the whiteout. You need that. But Jeff, people will go to those games because it's cool to be there.
Yeah, that's what I talk about. The product getting better. Like I'm excited. I think not only will this move help recruiting, in my opinion, for other schools in the Big Ten, because now you could tell them, hey, like we're going to USC. We're going. If you got recruits from California, it's going to entice them even more. But it's just a better product all around. Like college sports, in my opinion, is as close as the pros as you can get already. That's why the travel doesn't change my opinion on anything. I mean, you got one game a week, and you got to fly from Cali to Michigan or in that Big Ten area, which is like a 4 or 5 hour flight.
Yeah,
it'll be fine.
4.5 hour flight versus a 2 hour flight when you go somewhere else. Like it's not different.
It's not like back to backs, and you got a game a week. You'll be
and
fine.
it's charter flights. Even the baseball teams and everything like that. You go out there and the basketball teams, nothing changes structure. The only thing that changes is the trips 4 to 5 hours longer. Yeah. That's it, because of the flights. It's all chartered. You can afford it because you're making more money than God right now.
Crap load of money, yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, you nothing changes. I think it's more of just a shock, like we're programmed to be shocked by it. But it doesn't matter. Yeah. And do you see a day, and I've heard people talk about this around town. I heard people talk about it in the YouTube chat thread. We're going to the AFC versus NFC model, aren't we?
I've been seeing that too. I was going to bring that up too, like 2 super conferences.
And that's it.
What do you think about that? I like it.
I don't know, man. Here's my concern. And as a guy that, and I know how this is going to go. It's just going to be replaced, but you guys know my affinity for Mountain West football. Yeah, you knew where that was going, Spence. My affinity for Mountain West football. I like those. Here's the problem. Here's my problem with NFL. Here's why I like college more than I like NFL football. And I'm not saying you have to. I'm giving you the reasons why I like college football more.
Right.
Because I want to be entertained just as much as I want to see good football. And I have a certain style of football that's entertaining to me. I like Hawaii, back when they had Timmy Chang with the 5 wideouts and the throw the ball 70 times. I like that kind of stuff. I like gimmick games that start at 11:30 on the West Coast. I like all that. And that will stay. We will still get that as consumers. But what I like about college football is the difference in styles all across the country. And every spread options, run and shoots, traditional offenses. I don't like it. Like, I don't like the traditional offense stuff. There's no creativity to me, no imagination, but whatever. In the NFL, and I think what you're going to see with this super conference stuff is there's going to be like 2 variations of stuff, and that's it. In the NFL, every offense is the same. The difference is you have play calling innovators or play designing innovators that are commodities like Andy Reid, et cetera, that are just that much above everybody else. More creative minds. That's what I celebrate about college football. And I have a fear that will go away.
Yeah, if you look at Michigan and their current offense, Sam would have to explain that one for me. But again, it all goes back to the fact of the product you're getting on the field. And I think the addition of USC, the addition now of UCLA, I think it's going to be good, especially where USC is going. Like, they're going to be atop of the Big Ten. I think in 2 years, you're already giving them time to even get better, and then they join the Big Ten. I think they're going to get guns a-blazing. So, you talk about Ohio State running the Big Ten. Now you're getting more teams. Like, USC can contend now. It's not just Michigan and Ohio State, and now Michigan State rising up the marks. I think you get more guys.
And look, I was one that talked about that, and you look at USC and what they're doing, name, image, and likeness, and Jordan Addison's making more money than Jamison Williams for the Lions. They're out there power playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're doing what I'm looking for Michigan to do. Looking for what I'm looking for Michigan State to do. Because it's a lot like MLB baseball now. You can wake up, if you got the squad to pull it off, you can wake up one day and say, we're going to be good now. That's it. Like, you can just wake up and say, we're going to be good.
You're right.
Baylor did it back in the day. Everyone talked about how Baylor came from nowhere. The people in the college basketball circles were telling me like 5 years before that popped off, they're like, Baylor's in those streets right now, and they're making it happen. And then boom, Baylor exploded. You can wake up and decide you want to be good, and it's just I always hear about it with USC. I think that Lincoln Riley will be able to pull that off. I think Lincoln Riley will be able to get the job done there. They're certainly spending the money. It's just I always hear about it, but I never see it.
Show us.
Rose.
And I think now you're going to start seeing it. I think with Lincoln Riley, especially what they've been doing with the NL, like you mentioned, it's going to be interesting to say the least. Like seeing, and now that we got Sam, I do want to ask you, Sam. You got USC coming, Lincoln Riley. Like, what does that mean for Michigan? Like just seeing what the possibility of now you're going to be facing. It's not even just UCLA, but USC and what they've been able to do with the NIL. What do you think as a Michigan fan?
Sam, are you prepared with the fact that you may have to play a road game?
Are you shook? Are you shook, Sam?
Play more than 2 games on the
Yeah. Are you concerned with the fact that you'll have more than one road game per year?
I am concerned because I think that Lincoln Riley is going to do wonders for USC. I think this year's USC team is going to be the dictionary definition of waking up and deciding to be good. They're coming off of the Clay Helton era. One of the most miserable eras in USC football history. And this team...
Clay just took a shot.
Literally, with Lincoln Riley being there, they got Caleb Williams, who was one of the best quarterbacks in the league last year, and the last year's Bolintikoff Award winner, NIL had something to do with it, Jordan Addison. So I'm thinking for Michigan, I'm concerned because I think right now they have a stranglehold on being a top 3 team in the Big Ten, possibly having a chance to win it every year, an outside chance at least. And now with USC, that is another team, another contender that is up and coming. And of course I'm scared. I want Michigan to win the Big Ten every year, but if USC's there, they're just another contender.
And there you have it. And you guys in the YouTube chat that are doing a good job right now. MPWMU is a big fan of Ed O'Bannon. Chili Damien says, Reggie Bush is my favorite Big Ten running back of all time. Honolulu Blue Sparty, Neal, when will Michigan realize they're no longer leaders and best? Michigan's like Uncle Rico living in the glory days. That's
Oh, my God.
Cody Engel says these super conferences could water down March Madness, though. Well, Cody, that's already been watered down, man. Like,
it's been happening.
Yeah, it really has. You will see this, and it'll get even more egregious than it already is. But you will see this, and I'll let you in on a secret too about that whole NCAA tournament expansion, like the play-in games and stuff like that. You know why that was done? Like, I know people say money. Well, yeah, but you know the how on it, right? Was they could get like those 11 seed play-in games were specifically generated to put more Power 5 teams in the tournament. That's exactly what it was, because they all got full shares.
Yep.
So that's
we earned it. Spence said.
No, but that's specifically why it was put in there. So yeah, they will water down March Madness to some degree, because I'll tell you this: San Diego State, as like a Mountain West power who's been very, very good for a long time. Teams like San Diego State, when they're 27-3, they got a real problem on their hand when UCLA is 18-13. UCLA's getting in.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they're 8-12 in Big Ten play, they're getting in.
Yeah.
That's just the way that it's going to go. Duran's MVP. I was a big Matt Leinart truther. Matt Barkley, that's right.
Shout out to Matt Barkley.
My guy, friend, bro. It is the integrity. Oh, absolutely. It's all about the integrity. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It's. Are we prepared? Let's get real here as we get ready to cut to the next break. Can we all gather in for a moment here as living in Big Ten?
Kumbaya.
Yeah, as living in Big Ten country and being right in the heart of Big Ten country with Michigan and Michigan State. And I think this is something that Michigan fans and Michigan State fans, I think the time has come to where us as Big Ten fans as a whole, have we gotten to the point now where as Big Ten fans we're prepared to forgive O.J. Simpson?
Big Ten legend. Obviously,
Big Ten legend.
If he's going to be one of the best
to ever do it in the Big Ten, from the running back position. Because when you think Big Ten running backs, you think O.J. Simpson. And has enough time moved on? Are we prepared? Think about it.
If he was guilty, they would have found him as such. The prosecution would have had better evidence, so therefore he's not guilty. Big Ten legend, O.J. Simpson. Let's go.
God. Okay, well, we went 0 to 100 real quick, like Drake said.
Those closest to OJ could have used a Guardian.
Yes, that's very true. That is very true. Wow, what a transition. Guardian Alarm, that keeps you safe and gives you peace of mind. Whether you're at home or on the road, they're 24/7 local monitoring. Make sure what is important to you is safe. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT for peace of mind. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT and let them know that your friends at Woodward Sports sent you. This is brought to you not by OJ.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning, where you can join the Pepper Club and get all the best deals And they'll beat all the competitors' prices by at least $5. Take a look at all those unlimited tanning options with the Pepper Club. Chili Peppers has the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans. Go to chilipepperstanning.com. Find out which one of their 26 locations work best for you. It's Chili Peppers Tanning.
Chili Peppers Tan.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, we got Jeff Iafrate here in the building as well. We got Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. We got Chris on the 1s and 2s. So far, so good for Chris. It's a process, or a process, as we would say, on Canada Day, because that's what it is.
He's learning from a goat, so, you know.
That is true.
Rubbing off a lot.
Subtle flex.
That is true.
Subtle flex.
As predicted by you guys, our audience here on the YouTube chat thread, we were talking famous Big Ten football icons like Reggie Bush, O.J. Simpson,
Matt Barkley,
Josh Rosen's
What about
another
the
one.
great Mike Garrett? Remember old 60s USC legend? That was my guy. Big Ten legend.
Oh, yeah. Him and George Mikan.
Yeah.
Those were your guys, man.
Played pickup
Running
together.
back on the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl 4 champion team. Let's go, Mike Garrett. Big Ten legend.
Super Bowl 4.
Chiefs Vikings 23-7. Let's go.
Neal Ruhl, Second Furnace says, as long as it isn't Ohio State winning, I don't care. And then, as you guys, I talk about Sam Flannel being on brand. Oh, by the way, it's Friday. He's got the Debo Flannel Friday. Give me one.
That's my bike, punk.
There you go. I like it.
Beautiful.
Just as Sam Flannel's on brand, you guys are on brand as well. And I love it. Decontaminate yourself, and here we go. AC, I love OJ. I have a Bronco. Spades Kid, OJ didn't do it.
Jesus Christ.
Man Guy Frembro, there's still no proof.
We got to get Maz in here. Maz is a big OJ guy.
Epic says bro. Spades KD.
Of course Maz is.
He's innocent. Cody Engel, have OJ on the show.
I would love, if I could book OJ, I would do it in a heartbeat.
I just want to talk to him about the Big Ten.
Away from him, but
just a knife's length.
I just want to talk to him about his favorite Big Ten memories.
That's fair.
Well, that's fair. I mean, I think that's a good question.
Yep.
I would love to hear that.
Man Guy Frembro says Miles is going to get indicted for worse than OJ. Yeah.
Oof, that's probably true.
Epic in response to Sam Flannel's comment. Spoken like a true serial killer, Flannel.
Oh, man. Now I'm a serial killer now. That's okay. He was proven innocent in the court of law. The prosecution did not do enough. And Johnny Cochran, for real, though, he is like a GOAT defense attorney. He was able to get OJ off. He's a GOAT.
True.
Yeah.
That show, The People versus OJ Simpson on Netflix,
was a banger.
Where Ross is Rob Kardashian, and that is a great show. I
Phenomenal.
love that. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s OJ.
Now this is somebody else's bit in talk media, and I'll do one. You guys send it in. I'm going to do one, and then we're moving on. I don't want a list of them. I don't want to hear your best ones. We're going to read one, and then that's it. And then there's no more. So just one. Okay, guys? Please respect our wishes on this one. Okay? Michael Lucci says, OJ knew how to convert in the red zone. That's it. We're done.
Oh, man.
That's it.
That's a good one.
Oh, my Lord. Oh.
And... he had
a stranglehold on short yardage.
I said,
right,
that's it.
Just one. All right.
That's it. That's all we're doing. John Case says Flannel's opinions don't matter.
Okay, well, that's...
AC, all right, I'll do this one too. AC says Johnny Cochran, and I'll spin this into a question. I'll ask this question on behalf of AC. Who's greater at their job, Johnny Cochran or Bobby Portis?
Well, Johnny Cochran, because he got O.J. Simpson off for murder. Bobby Portis is just an elite role player, one of the best
role player.
Okay.
Elite role player.
Elite role player. He's a good role player.
He's a good role player.
Solid.
He is the perfect role player for today's game. A 6'11" stretch four who can shoot the three, guard multiple positions. I think, and if he wins more championships with Milwaukee...
I'd rather have Andrew Wiggins.
Oh, man. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah.
There we go! Let's go!
Yeah. I agree with that.
All right.
Yeah. So we did the one.
So, you just said you'd have Andrew Wiggins over Bobby Portis?
No, don't even start it.
So would you have Andrew?
No,
okay, I'm done.
None of that.
Done. Not bringing it up, Neal.
Not
We're not
today.
going there.
Neal, don't do it.
Hold back.
Man, I want to.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
No, it is. Harrison Metzler. I'm going to do this, and I know where it's going to lead. That's fine. We got about 6 minutes left in the segment. Harrison Metzler. I will take Sam Flannel seriously when he recognizes how talented Ben Wallace was.
Okay, so that is actually something that I've wanted to address. I have never said that Ben Wallace was trash. I believe he was an integral point to those championship teams. He was one of the best defenders in the NBA for those 4 to 6 years. They do not win a title without him.
Clip it right there.
Okay, and that is very, very fair.
Sam Flannel has come full circle on Ben Wallace. Guys in the back, there you go. I did it for you.
But I still don't think he's worthy of a Hall of Fame nod over guys like Chauncey, Rip, and Rasheed Wallace. I think that 2004 going-to-work Pistons team was very unique in a way that out of their 4 best players, I discount Tayshaun because he never made an All-Star team. All 4 of their best players have a good argument to make it and to not make it. And I don't think Ben Wallace was more valuable than any of the other guys.
I think Ben has the biggest case to make it, though.
He does have the defensive players of the year.
Yeah, because he's got all those individual awards.
It's accolades. That's what it's about, Sam. And you know that. I get your arguments about the individual player, but that's not what we're talking about. If I'm talking about what player I'd rather take, I look at impact on the game, and number 1, number 2, their accolades. I think Ben beats Bobby in both those categories.
Facts.
Impact of the game. If you're going to tell me Bobby Portis has a bigger impact than Ben Wallace,
we shouldn't even
I'm jumping through that glass.
Shouldn't open this can of worms.
I told you. I knew where this was going to go.
But I respect your opinion, and I get why you feel like, because I'm going to be honest, Sam, crazy or not, believe me or not, Sam isn't the only person that doesn't think Ben Wallace should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He's not, guys. Relax. But I appreciate it because you're surrounded by guys.
Said he shouldn't be.
You're surrounded by Pistons fans, so I give you credit because it takes kahunas to say something like that.
And Ben Wallace lives like 3 blocks away from here, so.
Oh, Sam, you better.
He could come walking in here at any day of the week
and end it.
And he was like what, like 260, like 6% body fat in his prime. Like, guy was a brick wall.
I don't know. I never did speak my piece on this, Sam, and here's the deal of why he is. And there's a lot of Dennis Rodman to this. When you are the best in an area of NBA basketball, when you are the best to do it, you're talking like a half-decade-long stretch of being the best at something.
Of the best people in the world.
Of the best people in the world
Bingo.
in the NBA, then that is Hall of Fame worthy.
I mean, I don't know if he was necessarily the best defender. I think Tim Duncan and Bruce Bowen have an argument, but definitely top 3. I will give you that, but we can all admit he was the worst free throw shooter ever, and one of the worst offensive players ever, but still a phenomenal defender.
Yeah,
and I will admit that.
And that's my Dennis Rodman thing. I don't care if Dennis Rodman ever scored a point. He is the best rebounder in the history of basketball.
You hit it right on the head.
Yes.
Best below the rim rebounder who ever played NBA
My
basketball.
dad tells me that all the time when we're watching NBA games. He's like, I don't know why people don't do that. Like why doesn't Zion do what Dennis Rodman did, where he just tips
the ball to himself,
just keeps tipping it.
If
to
you
himself
can get a
until he gets
fingertip
it.
on it and get it to a more advantageous position,
Like, you
but you know why? That's a want to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Rebounding is the ultimate want to business.
Yeah.
You can't fake it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a want to game.
Paid.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the way it is. So, this seems civil today.
I like this chair.
No,
I want to sit here more often.
I like you in that chair, Spence.
Hey, thank you.
I do. Frank Daniels said, we're going back to it. The good news is we have like 2.5 minutes left in the segment. And not that I'm keeping an eye on the clock for this segment or whatever, but Frank Daniels says Ben Wallace won Defensive Player of the Year 4 times, tied for the most in NBA history. So,
that's Hall of Fame.
That again,
like
100%.
You're one of the greatest defensive players to ever play the game.
Something
of basketball.
nobody's done before.
Yeah, I mean, and when you do that, you're a Hall of Famer.
And his size, sprinkle that on top.
Yeah,
little Salt Bay on top of that,
and all the flavor, all the icing to it all, undrafted, self-made,
that matters.
Afro, given up on by Orlando,
cool afro.
There was
none of that
marketability.
matters, though. That's what I've always said. None of that matters,
Sam. But it does.
But it shouldn't.
But it does.
But why? It makes him more of a cult hero than like a player, and he was a phenomenal player.
Sam, you wearing the blue flannel on a Friday, why is it significant?
It doesn't make me any better or worse at my job, though. It's just
yes,
more,
it does.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes, it does, Sam. Believe it or not,
I see things a little bit differently, and I think that's why I don't crown Ben Wallace like everybody else. But like I said, before people before people go crazy, I did admit that he was a phenomenal defensive player in his prime. I never said that he wasn't.
Yes.
Let's get that off. Let's get that on the table.
You are giving him his flowers.
Yes.
You kind of stepped on him first, but
I was going to say, you're like spitting on him, then giving him the flowers. But I respect it,
That's
Sam.
my booth, punk.
It's your opinion again. I love Sam. Anybody who says Sam Flannel shouldn't be employed, you're a fucking idiot. All right? I'm sorry. I'll swear. You can cut that out. You are. You're an idiot.
You must only have like 10 viewers or something.
Yeah. Whoever. That's the Adam F. bomb to all you people who are really hating on Sam because he's a great guy. Awesome.
On our YouTube chat thread, the away fan, Neal has the best hat on today. This is my Montreal Expos. Happy Canada Day,
that
everybody.
Is a pretty
DMAC,
sick hat.
wherever you are, bumping around town, happy Canada
You
Day,
think
my
he's across
friend.
the bridge? You think he's up there?
Maybe. Is that like their 4th of July or whatever? I don't know.
idea.
I know there's CFL football
Canada
tonight.
confuses me. They call ham bacon.
I know they do this weird thing where, like, if you're sick, you can go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah,
like it's really wild.
Weird stuff. Yeah.
I don't know why they do that.
Universal health care. Like,
yeah.
What other country would think of that? I mean,
Yeah,
like, you know, every other first world country except for the U.S.
I just don't. It's all really weird to me,
Yeah,
except
weird.
for the gravy on the French fries.
Yeah. Oh, poutine. You don't like poutine?
No, I 100% get that.
He's a king of poutine.
Back in my day, when I was living a different
Obviously,
lifestyle.
You can tell. I'm a
Dude,
big
Neal's a
poutine
walking
guy.
poutine attraction.
Back in the day, I'm just saying.
I take poutine to Pound Town. I'll tell you that.
Okay, all right. It's over. Spencer's
Hey, Neal
runs
Ruhl
with
for
it.
Big Boy. That's right. Ciabatta, summer salads, hand dip shakes, all at Big Boy. Try the chicken club, the chicken cordon bleu, or the sunrise ham and cheddar, all on our grilled ciabatta bread. Let's talk about ciabatta bread for a minute. You can have a sandwich on regular bread, but when you put it on ciabatta bread, that sandwich, it's just instantly better. And it doesn't even matter what the sandwich is. It's just instantly better. That's the power of ciabatta bread. Or, you can keep it light with the Michigan apple, chicken Caesar, or Greek salad as well. Don't forget to cool off with hand-dipped cookies and cream shake or, a strawberry shake as well. You heard it here first. Summer is better at Big Boy. Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are. Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the Bottom Line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Back at it here, pulling up on the second hour of the show. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate in for DMAC, who's probably, just observing Canada Day today. So I did rock the Montreal Expos.
As he should.
Yeah, absolutely. We have Sam Flannel. We have Spencer Raxter. Chris is here in the building on the ones and twos as well. But we do need to get into it. I guess the press conference is over, as I could tell by the spike in viewership here for Big D Energy. I never got, and I get why you have to, like as a media person, the press conference thing. What do you think they're going to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some.
Yeah, we got it right here. Derek Lolande, the new Red Wings head coach. What do you have to say? We're really happy out here. We're just trying to get the boys in there. Gonna go out there, hustle, get pucks deep, make sure we finish our checks. Go out there, really compete, play hard. We need good defense. We need, like I said, we need to get pucks deep. We need to compete, and we need to go out there and put a body on somebody.
So there you have it.
That's
okay.
All. Hockey press conferences are the same thing every single time.
For those that don't know, just to kind of break down of Derek Lalande's resume, he was an assistant coach at Ferris State University, also an assistant coach at the University of Denver, who is a hockey powerhouse in the college game as well. Was a head coach of the Green Bay Gamblers, so he knows the Resch Center over there in Green Bay. Head coach of the Toledo Walleye from 14 to 16, was a head coach of the Iowa Wild as well. Mm-hmm. That was from 2016 to 2018. And then an assistant coach with the Tampa Bay Lightning from 18 until today, as a matter of fact. But he did address the media. And look, it became apparent when time kept going by and all these coaches were being announced, it became apparent what the game plan was.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're bringing in a guy, Derek Lalonde, who, number one, is familiar with Steve Yzerman. It's Stevie's guy, and he's the right guy, number one, for continuing to develop these players, number one. But number two, the goal is to make deep playoff runs eventually. I think Derek Lalonde can get you there. He's been there before. He knows what it takes working under John Cooper. And listen, we all knew Stevie would bring in somebody he can trust, and I think Derek's that guy, absolutely. So I'm excited. I know he's been coaching pretty much at every level. He's dealt with all kinds of people, especially now with the success he's had winning multiple Stanley Cups. I think he's the right guy for the job and someone Stevie's familiar with. So it's a win-win, man. If you're a Red Wings fan, you're excited.
On the YouTube chat thread, Mike G says he does not sound like Babcock or Blashill, so he's already a winner in my book. And people are talking about the bald head and stuff like that. I'm not going there.
Listen, the coach grew stuff. All right, the grew from Despicable Me.
KFM said he looks like a Gotham crime boss.
Okay, all right. This man just got here.
He looks like he calls him the Batman.
Okay, you guys go ahead and do it.
He's catching some strays.
And let me know.
Hey, I caught some strays last night. I got to deal some out.
Yeah. So here's the deal for me. And Yzerman, with the way he's done it, and you know my take on Yzerman, Troy Weaver's on the same ground, and even Brad Holmes is on the same ground. I don't care because I trust Steve Yzerman implicitly. Bingo. I don't care who he hires. I don't care where he came from because Steve Yzerman's got the roster finally to his own. Finally, after cleaning up everything that he walked into, finally has a roster going. Has an immense amount of salary cap space. I trust Steve Yzerman implicitly. So I don't care if this guy coached on the moon. It doesn't matter where he came from. If Steve Yzerman says he can coach, I'll see y'all in October. Mm-hmm. I know that's kind of boring, I guess.
No, but that's real, though. Like, that's the mindset we're starting to have now with Troy Weaver. And I think Yzerman is the only GM in Detroit that has the resume where you can say that. Like, yes, we say it about Brad Holmes, we say it about Weaver, but with Yzerman, it's been done. And Lalonde has been a part of that. So I think ultimately you do it. I mean, Neal, you hit it around the head, man. You have to trust him. And I think this decision, despite who the head coach is, we're all on board. Let's not lie. I mean, whoever was being hired, I think we'd all be like, yep. We'll take it.
Yeah. And this is put perfectly, the Grindline podcast on our YouTube chat thread. You have to trust Yzerman until he gives you a reason not to, and he's built up a large bank of trust. It is the exact opposite of Al Avila. Like, there are all these wins and so few losses, as opposed to all these losses and so few wins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I trust Steve Yzerman implicitly. He can do anything he wants. He could bring in Stephen A. Smith is our head coach, and I would agree with him, and I would back him because he's proven it. He built the winner. He built a 2-time Stanley Cup winner, almost a 3-time Stanley Cup winner, and he's doing that same game plan he did with Tampa Bay with this His first draft pick was a Calder Trophy winner. Like, come on.
Yeah. That everybody was kind of critical of when he made the choice.
Nobody. Who's this guy? This big German dude.
And hey, look.
Yeah,
we're getting Germans now. Yeah. Where's the rich talent history out of with German players out of Germany and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Fast forward, dude was nearly unanimous rookie of the year. Like,
I love
come
him
on.
so much,
and now everybody's got a cider jersey. So things turn around quickly.
All right, I'll do one. All right, we're in that. It's a holiday weekend. I'll do one. This will appease you guys, and we're not doing another one. Okay. I'll do one because this is what you guys want, despite my protests and everything like that.
Gets the people going.
Yeah, you know what? Have your fun. Don't say that. Don't say that I'm the Jim Harbaugh or the Michigan of things. Don't say I'm not, because I am. I'll give you guys. I'll let you have the floor for a minute.
You'll throw the khakis on.
Here you go. One time. Coquet. What's he getting paid? $1 million. All right, are you guys done?
$1 million.
Are you done?
This man hasn't even been in here for
I know,
a day,
man.
and he's taking shots.
I don't care. I don't care about any of that. Don't care about any of that. Steve Yzerman hired this man.
That's good. It took me a second.
Yeah.
Because I forgot he was bald, but it's good stuff.
No, it's not good stuff.
He probably keeps that locker room spick and span.
That's not good stuff.
You know.
None of it's good. It doesn't matter.
It's funny.
It's inconsequential is what it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Steve Yzerman hired this man. And look, let's...
Can you address something? Brandon Katz in the chat. Tampa is an elite organization. The success of Tampa when Yzerman was there was the whole organization, not one person.
Steve Yzerman built Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. Like Stamkos was there. Some of the pieces.
Yeah, but like
were
7
there.
other of the Stanley Cup winners were drafted by Steve Yzerman.
Yeah, and who drafted Kucherov?
Yeah, exactly.
And whose pick did he use to do it?
Point and Palat and why can't I think of his name? I don't.
Who drafted Vasilevsky? And whose pick did he use to do it?
Yes.
That's cold, by the way.
That is cold.
Yeah,
but we got Kosa, so I'm good with it.
It's for me. I don't know. I will ask this, and we have a lot of hockey elite, and we'll break it down a little further on Tuesday when D-Mac's back in. 9 Drinks says Jeffrey's over there slamming mulligans. Can you confirm that?
I can. No comment.
Yeah.
I can use a mulligan right now.
Yeah. Robert says, not going to lie, I was hoping for a former Red Wing like Fedorov or Larionov, but you guys are right. We need to trust Stevie. And, that's what it is for me. And, that resume, he was part of I think it's fair to call Tampa a dynasty in the NHL. Sure. Is that fair?
Oh, easily.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Okay. I got to check in from time to time with everybody.
Don't want to get outed.
Yeah. So
there was no hot take.
Yeah. There was no hot take. So they're a dynasty, and he was a part of it. So I put it into that. So I guess my question is to the people out there, how does it improve? You know what I'm saying? Like, because what are the deficiencies, Jeff? We know what the deficiency where they were apparent. Like, so does he fix those?
Yeah. I would think so, too, because not only with Jeff Blash, I think the difference is now you have, number one, a veteran, number two, with the experience championship DNA, but you can get both. You can get the mentoring and the developing, but you can also get the win. Like, this could be the coach to win now and get you to where you ultimately want to be, and that's making deep postseason runs. So I think it's the right coach. You want to coach with, some maturity with a lot of young guys, especially in the locker room. So I think the fit makes sense. And number two, I know D-Mac talked about another Tampa Bay assistant, but Derek Lolande, I think they got a good one, but we'll see.
Yeah. So, it's one of those things, Grindline Podcast, no, not a dynasty. I call that if they won 2 cups back-to-back in normal years. I would say it was even tougher to win them.
Yeah.
It was even tougher to win them through that because that was foreign to everybody.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
Overcoming adversity.
Yeah. I mean, that was just, my take on it. But Epic says, and I knew it was going to, this always comes back to this. By the way, Steven, in the presser, he said the word process was used about 85 times. That might be a low estimate. Well, I mean, what else are you going to say, though?
Work for Joel Embiid.
You had a nuclear meltdown.
Yeah.
The final 3 months of the seseason defensively.
Process better be used.
No question.
I think he's saying process because he literally can't say Yzerplan without, like...
What if he did?
Being laughed
Just drop the Wiser plan in there in the presser. Get him fired up.
And I knew it was going to come back to this. Epic. I just never understood how to keep Meach and let Quincy walk and then spend a first round to get Quincy back. And look.
Oh, God.
Franz Nielsen, $36 million. The most egregious. And I know there are more from a numbers perspective.
The body of Alfredson. Like the dead body of Alfredson.
That Franz Nielsen thing for me was one of the most egregious contracts in the history of Detroit sports. For me.
That's fair. I mean, it was bad.
I know the Jordan Zimmerman one was worse or whatever. I think there's a difference between worse and egregious. That one was egregious.
Yeah. You can't do that. At least Kenny Holland made up for it at the end. As his way out. He got some good trades on his way out. When he traded Tats, when he traded Goose, he got some good returns for those guys. So
yeah. 9 Drinks says holiday weekend, get it in, Jeff.
Hey, that's what. Hey, Friday, holiday weekend. You got to start early.
I switched it to you when you were slamming the Red Bull or whatever that was.
Oh, you have to. Yeah. And I think Spencer got it in a little earlier than me, but I'm working up to it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, it's just – but what's the impact, I guess, is the question that I come back to. Is there going to be something tangibly different? I can't answer that.
No, I mean, you still got a lot of money left to spend. I think you definitely more pieces, and Spencer kind of hit on it already, pieces coming up the pipeline. I think it's too early to expect immediate changes, but at least what you know you have is just a voice in the locker room, number one, that guys can play for. Because I think the voice of Jeff Blasher was lost last year. Now you have a new coach. That's what you can look for, man. Just a new voice in the locker room. That's the biggest thing. It's not about immediate changes. Who knows if they're going to make the playoffs this year. Certainly they can, but we'll see. Plenty of money left to spend. I think that's the big one.
And people are saying them all in the chat. Having Yzerman in there means not paying Abdelkader that contract, not paying Stephen Weiss that contract, not paying Franz Nielsen that contract.
But technically, they did this year to the tune of $1.5 million on Justin Abdelkader and Franz Nielsen.
I mean, it's so disgusting that we're still paying those guys.
And again, that's why. Because I heard Yzerman taking some shade on some of the other outlets in terms of like the offseason and quote unquote moves that he quote has to make, like it's time to do something.
Yeah.
See, for me, it's one of those things where I don't think people have that full grasp that Abdelkader and Nielsen are on the books this year for $1.5 million still.
Yeah.
Like that's where this franchise was taken from.
Yeah, it's like if we'd be paying DeAndre Jordan next year or 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Like,
do people, again, I know we do, but real talk, do people realize the depths the Red Wings reached? Yeah, not even just talking about on the ice. I'm talking about financially with the books. Franz Nielsen and Justin Abdelkader will make $1.5 million of the Red Wings salary cap this year. This year!
Yeah, that's disgusting. Oh man, it's just.
I just want it out there though. Like when we
that?
name the coach, when they name the coach and everything like that. This is Yzerman's coach. It's starting to become Yzerman's team.
What is that? Is that just bad decisions? Is that loyalty to a fault? Is that just overvaluing someone? What becomes?
It's not, to me. It's not having a grasp of how the cap era works, and overvaluing your talent, bad talent evaluation. Next year, Justin Abdelkader, $1.05 million.
Jesus Christ!
Next year, not this season coming up. I'm talking about 23-24.
Spartan Dog baby, getting those checks.
Get your bag.
Justin Abdelkader. Today's Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yeah,
I got to know the date that just. The year after that, Justin Abdelkader, $1.05 million. The 2024-25 salary cap.
12-year contract?
To give you a for instance on that, Robbie Fabry is the only player under contract. The Red Wings in 24-25 have two players under contract. Robbie Fabry and Justin Abdelkader.
Woo!
That sounds like an all-star team right there. The making of an all-star team.
Good Lord, man.
Abs. Still getting checked. Good for him.
Good. Live your life, bro.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. Hey, UFC 276 this weekend. My bookie, the place to be for it. And, they're going to throw down, man. They always do at UFC 276. My bookie has your action. And remember, use a promo code Woodward. And they will give you an instant deposit bonus. That's right. Promo code Woodward. They'll match half of your first deposit up to $1,000 in free bets. A lot of the UFC fighters are dropping their own predictions on the MyBookie social channels. So you have plenty of options to choose from if you don't know who to back. You can bet one fight. You can bet them all with a multiple fight parlay. However you want to do it to raise the stakes on the UFC card that's sure to entertain. Don't forget, use a promo code Woodward and bet with all of the MyBookie community. Adesanya, Kenny Air, which one you got? Spence,
I got Izzy for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, give me Izzy.
Rocking with Izzy.
He's going to pick Cannonier apart. Cannonier is not on his caliber.
You laying the 3-1?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, there. Spencer.
Take it to the bank.
Get right?
Get right.
Okay.
Put the house on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I put the mortgage payment on it.
I love it. That's why we roll with Spence. And MyBookie is the place to do it. Promo code Woodward. They'll match part of your first deposit up to 50% in free bets. Bet on anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Ribbit.
Ribbit. Do you need apparel? Big Frog is where you need to go. When you need apparel, there's only one place to go, and that is Big Frog in Novi. No setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum. In a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your old team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has the styles you want. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate in for DMAC on Canada Day. I got the Expos hat. I'm participating.
Show some love.
Yeah, I'm participating in it. They need the Expos back, real talk.
For sure.
And not like half the year in Tampa. No, they need the Expos back.
Yeah.
Let's
they
get
need to
real.
win a Stanley Cup. Like, jeez.
They
How
do.
are you going to be Canada and not have a Stanley Cup for, what, like 20 years?
They're getting. It's like the Big Ten in college basketball.
Yeah. It's like Matt Barkley's reign over the Big Ten.
It's over 2 decades since the Big Ten won the national championship in basketball.
Monty Cleaves is my dog.
Think about that,
Yeah,
dude.
that's pretty bad. We always got, we're the best conference. We got 7 teams in there. Oh, nobody makes fun for it. Awesome.
And it's funny to me, too, because people are always like, well, we're the Big Ten power and everything like that.
Yeah.
And the SEC's like a one team. Kentucky's won it since then.
Yeah.
Florida's won it since then. Like, you know.
Oh, they all beat up on each other. It's the grind of the regular season.
That's my favorite bit. That's my favorite bit.
That's going to get better with USC and UCLA, right?
That is true. If you want to get that discussion, you can go back. Our podcast, Big D Energy Podcast, wherever you get your podcast from, you can rewind, go back, listen to our take on USC and UCLA. Joining the Big Ten, the Red Wings adding their new coach as well. I also did some digging during the break. And just to give you guys some perspective of what Yzerman was walking into, we gave you the Fabry Abdelkader update. But how about this? In 2025-2026 season, the Detroit Red Wings have Justin Abdelkader on the books at $1.05 million. That's the last year that they have to pay Justin Abdelkader his buyout money.
We'll have McJesus on the books by then, so.
Fair.
I need that agent.
Yeah.
Give me the number to his agent, please.
real.
Him and Josh Smith, both.
So needless to say, he was stretched out, and that's the way that it works. Robert says that gives me Josh Smith PTSD. So there is a degree to that. AC says big fan of Big Ten legend Reggie Bush. Who's your favorite Big Ten legend in honor of UCLA and USC joining the fold? Classic big. We discussed the O.J. Simpson era.
Okay.
Can we put that on the YouTube chat poll?
Yeah, for sure.
As Big Ten fans, we're all Big Ten fans. Are we prepared to forgive O.J. Big Ten legend? You got to do it that way. As Big Ten fans, are we prepared to forgive Big Ten legend O.J. Simpson?
Are we prepared?
I'm just. Have we thought about it?
Yeah.
That's the question. On Twitter as well. And remember, we take your tweets and your thoughts. Zach the Builder on Twitter, the Big Ten West will finally be good. I like it.
He's got a point. He's got a solid point.
It is about time. But we talked about the news that was just breaking fast and furious all around the sports landscape. People trying to claim Russell Westbrook for basketball
Ew.
as well.
Oh, God.
Kevin Love. Give me Kevin Love over Russell Westbrook.
Yeah. Lou Alcindor, Coquet.
There we go.
Before he was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he was doing it in the Big Ten.
Sam knows about it.
Yeah.
Your mama called you Lou, I'm going to call you Lou.
Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
Keep him coming.
Neal Ruhl's second furnace.
LaMelo Ball.
I forgave him back in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, we're all at different exits of the O.J. Simpson Big Ten memory highway, right? We're all at different exits. That's fair.
Good. That was good.
It's up to you individually.
When you want to take that white Bronco off the highway.
Yeah, when you want to go fill up the white Bronco with gas and take it off the highway.
Just the fact that he wrote a book called If I Did It or something like that.
Yeah,
it's like how he would get away with it if he murdered her. It's like, come on, dude.
The Grind Line podcast, it was just a little murder, guys. What's the big deal?
That's fair. I mean,
see, again, we're all at different exits of the highway.
You know what I learned? If you put little in front of something, it minimizes it a little bit. It was just a little murder.
It's just a little tampering.
It's just a little murder.
Yeah.
What's the big deal, guys?
And people got love for the O'Bannon twins. See, I think that let me put it this to you, because everyone's been talking about the O'Bannon twins. You know Ed O'Bannon took your college EA sports games away from you, right?
Yeah, he sued.
That's a stain on the Big Ten, I think.
Yeah, he's a loser for that. For sure, a stain on the Big Ten.
So we have it up on the YouTube chat poll right now. As Big Ten fans, are we prepared to forgive Big Ten legend O.J. Simpson? No, 56%. Yes, 44%. So it's tight. And again, guys, there is no wrong answer here. Okay?
I'm glad.
There's no wrong answer.
I thought there was.
So just
look at Coquet. Always been a huge OJ fan. Didn't really like him as a football player. Come on.
OJ the person. Yeah. He's a big fan of OJ the person,
the human being.
But that Big Ten exposure, though, that's what that leads to.
Yeah. Baron Davis, Big Ten All-Star.
Oh, I love me some Baron Davis.
Oh, yeah.
There was nothing better than Thursday night TNT games with Baron Davis for the Golden State Warriors when they had that stupid shield guy as a logo.
Yeah, the orange, blue, and whatever.
But hey, BD would give you 30, 10, and 10.
Oh, for sure. BD. And then he'd flex on you.
Absolutely.
And it was. I loved it.
Posterizing.
Walt Hazard. Big Ten legend.
Yeah, absolutely. But I did, through all the news, and this was where I was going with it before we got derailed by the whole, Big Ten legend O.J. Simpson. By the way, YouTube chat poll, no still sitting at 54% of the vote, yes at 46%. Are you, though?
Yeah, he murdered somebody.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. The glove did not fit, so he must have quit. But it's...
But see, the Big Ten allegiance runs deep. When you're a Big Ten fan,
that's true.
You'll look past certain things.
The Big Ten ties.
Yeah, murder's irrelevant, Spencer. If you're a legend, I mean, that's what the people are trying to tell us.
It's like Buffalo 46%. And Big Ten country can forgive O.J. Simpson.
Hey. So
because he's one of us now.
Neal Ruhl's second furnace. This is a Big Ten conversation we could have. Who was more corrupt back in the day, Ohio State or USC?
USC for sure.
Yeah.
Like Ohio State, 10 years ago, and USC 20 years ago? Because it wasn't at the same time, was it? Pete Carroll and Jim Tressel. I guess that was the same time.
How do Big Ten fans look back on the Pete Carroll era?
Yeah, that's true.
Do you accept it?
Yeah, give Reggie back his Heisman.
First
hard-yard rusher for the Lions, Big Ten legend.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's got a lot. Look at the ties that Reggie Bush has to the area.
Yeah, Big Ten country. He actually... one of my bosses, I worked at a bank, and her son was Reggie Bush's quarterback in high school.
See?
Yeah. Big Ten legend.
That's probably, those family ties, probably what made him go to a Big Ten institution.
Yeah, that's facts.
AC. This is the comments of AC, and in no way reflect the views of Neal Ruhl, Woodward Sports at all. AC. I mean, Michigan fans love Bo, and we know what he did.
That's a fact. That reflects my views.
Sam, what do you think about that?
I mean, those reflect my views as well. He shouldn't have a statue. And I've actually said before, besides being a scumbag of a human being, he is an overrated coach.
Dude, he is the most overrated coach in the history of sports. Take the personal side of stuff. Just look at the football. Dude was 2-8 in the Rose Bowl. Dude won no national titles in almost 30 years. Dude stood by while Ohio State and his rival won national championships.
I mean, you could actually quiz Michigan fans, and I don't think they know that Bo never won a national championship. And like I said before, we've had this discussion. I think you can make an argument Lloyd Carr was a better coach, and Gary Moeller, man.
Rich Rod.
Not Rich Rod. If he could have kept it going, he could have been the best coach in Michigan football history, hands down.
I agree.
Hey, Ryan Lentz, clip that. And we'll see who's the real soft fan base. If it's Michigan or Michigan State.
I love you, Spence.
Oh, boy. We're live at the Planet Fitness Studios, as you know, and Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. Membership starts at just $10 a month. That'll get you access to your home club. There's a black card option as well, just $24.99 per month. Yes, less than $1 a day will get you use of all the amenities, the unlimited tanning, the hydro massage, the massage chairs, or the total body enhancement. Also get you access to over 2,000 Planet Fitni. That's plural for fitnesses. 2,000 Planet Fitni worldwide with unlimited guest privileges. You can join today in club. You're going to pass a couple on the way home, or break out that computer. Go to planetfitness.com. Join up there. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Boom! 2 more winners I gave you last night. That's 12 out of 15. But who's keeping track? Hey, who's the best? I'm the best. Over there at the Woodward Bet Show. You guys got to make sure you're tuning in. And also, you guys got to make sure you download oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and it's the best place to check all the live odds at the sports books right in the palm of your hand. But hey, let's get back to those winners. I know that's all you want. That's all we want. We want fun coupons. That's the way we roll. Hey, today we're going to roll with the Cleveland Indians to beat the Minnesota Twins. Bieber been pitching pretty well. Sounds good to me. Cleveland Indians, oddstrader.com. Woodward Bets. Check it out.
Do you have a big project coming up? Because at Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA. Tell them your friends at Woodward Sports sent you.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate in for D-Mac. He'll be back on Tuesday. Certainly we'll do a deep dive on the whole Derek Lalonde situation. We touched on it a little bit here today. Officially named coach of the Red Wings. A press conference wrapped up just a little bit ago. We got Sam Flannel. We got Spencer Raxter. Chris is in the building somewhere as well. And AC, he wants in for more. Who's a bigger Big Ten legend, Bo or Joe Paterno?
He's going there.
I don't want to do this.
I don't either.
I don't want to do a power ranking of Predators.
Jesus Christ.
I don't either.
I don't like it.
I'm not here for that.
The messed up part is you could do like a top 5.
Yeah,
you might be able to sneak 5 in there.
Yeah, so
Jesus.
That's what it is. He said you can't attack OJ and USC when you love Bo. But I'm not even. It devolved into this, and I guess to some degree, I perpetuated it. But I'm cutting it off right now. We're done with that. We're done. That's it. I just want to know who your favorite, throughout the history of time, your favorite Big Ten memories involving UCLA and USC.
Jordan Farmar.
That was good.
Matt Barnes.
What about with Bill Walton went on the run?
Yeah.
At UCLA.
The chops.
Does that mean now that Bill Walton's going to be doing the Big Ten games on ESPN?
That would be great.
That would be. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
He's got to be,
I don't
right?
want to bring it up because he's a, woman abuser, but he was talking about Miles Bridges, and he was like, I just love bridges. Like the Golden Gate Bridge, the Ambassador Bridge. I was like, Bill, man, how much weed did you smoke before the broadcast?
Did I ever tell you guys my story? We played at Arizona, and I do radio for Oakland. And we were playing at Arizona, and the Pac-12 network had the television of the game. So Bill Walton was doing the game. So I was like, hey, he was at our shoot-around earlier that day. So I said, hey, Bill, you want to do a bit with me for the pregame show on the radio? He's like, absolutely. So I asked him a question about his take on the state of college basketball right now. I asked him one question. The interview went 7 minutes and 17 seconds, and he didn't say anything about the state of college basketball. He talked about ships at sea, and this is honest to God's truth. He talked about ships at sea and captains and exactly what happens when people who go out to fish and try to make a living and all that. 7 minutes and 17 seconds.
Dude's a national treasure.
It was incredible,
He's
man.
done a lot of acid, too.
Brandon says Bill Walton is nearly 80 years old. He won't travel to the Midwest from the West Coast. But he'll do the West Coast games. I'm talking about, when Michigan State plays UCLA.
Yeah, can we get a
We
little
should
bit
get
of
Bill
Walton
Walton
action?
to Electric Forest.
Oh, God.
That would be something to see.
I think we need to keep him away from Electric Forest.
Right.
What about Pistons legend and Big Ten legend Aaron Aflalo?
That is true.
Yeah.
And that is a great segue. The away fan, Neal's dad voice came out right there. We're done. We're done with that. And you know what I mean when I say that. But again, I tried to get to this last segment, but all the news that dropped yesterday and everything crazy that was going on, it was the silly season for the NBA as well. The Pistons made some moves. They signed a couple of players. Of course, they re-signed Marvin Bagley.
Yep.
Pretty good contract. I think everybody's in universal agreement just in terms of what he's doing there. 3 years, $37 million. Our heart was broken. Maybe no more's heart was broken more. Bobby Portis did re-sign for the Bucks for what, about 12, just a little over $12 million per year. But Spence, you and I talked about it over text. They had no shot. He was always going back to Milwaukee.
Yeah, unfortunately. I wanted Crazy Eyes on the team. See him running down the court. It would have been awesome. But, he's not better than Ben Wallace, so we couldn't sign him.
Yep. Epic says, don't make Neal pull this car over. No, and don't make me do it. And I'll turn around, and we'll go back home. But, Jeff, I'm afraid I know the NBA is in your bag. Yeah. And it's, the Marvin Bagley thing was expected. The price was about as slotted. Mm-hmm. A little bit of a discount, I think, to what Marvin Bagley is capable of. Kevin Knox as well, a 2-year, $3 million a year contract as well. How does he fit on the squad? It's worth a spin. I mean, it's very limited investment. Did have a sweet Fortnite jacket though on draft day. But through all that, the Pistons still retain, a lot of their cap space, so they do have the flexibility to do a trade if they want to do a trade. They have that opportunity.
Yeah, Troy's been moving. I always go back to this quote. Real G's move in silence like lasagna. And Troy Weaver's been doing that, man. He's been moving in silence. And another thing with the Marvin Bagley deal, it doesn't change much. I mean, we expected it. I talked about it on the Jeff and Gentry pod yesterday with Easy about what we expect Marvin Bagley to make. I said 10 to 13 million. He made a little over 12. So right on point with that. And I think Marvin Bagley, this is the upside that you're getting when you trade. It all starts back with Josh Jackson. When the Pistons first signed Josh Jackson to that prove-it deal to see what they had in him, he played well. And then it allowed you to go trade for Marvin Bagley. You gave up Josh Jackson and Trey Lyles for him. So with Kevin Knox, it's a low-risk, potentially high reward. Who knows how good he'll be, but if he isn't good, you're paying him $3 million. $3 million annually. So it's a win. I mean, Marvin Bagley in 18 games with the Pistons, he gave you 14 and 7. Showed why he has value here.
That's $12 million a year in the NBA.
Yeah, the mid-level exception's like 11. So
right.
He gave him $1 million over the mid-level exception. It was a great move. And with Kevin Knox, I don't really have an opinion on it because, again, you don't know what you're going to get from him. All I can say is with this plan Troy has, he understands they're not going to be very good next year. Obviously, that's what this free agency, how he approached it, is telling us. Trading for, contracts like Alec Burks and Nerlens Noel. But getting Kevin Knox, man, it's like, listen, if he doesn't play well, he doesn't play well. We'll find a way to get rid of him. But if he does play well, you can maybe flip him for something else. So I love how he's been approaching it, man. And with a coach like Dwayne Casey, you want these types of guys. He can continue to develop them and hopefully turn them into pretty solid players. So I like how he's been approaching it so far, man. Maintaining flexibility. I think that's the key word of the offseason I've been using. Flexibility. Word of the day. Word of the entire offseason. And Troy Weaver's been doing just that. So kudos to him.
Duran's MVP says, forgive OJ for what? He didn't do it. So we still have that. Jake Wegener says,
Jesus Christ.
Neal's driving the car. The chat sitting in the back seat. He says, "The chat, can we get McDonald's?" Neal, we have food at home. The food at home is cream of wheat. So there you have that. Also, but there was a question there as well. Why isn't the Duren trade official as of yet? Hasn't been processed yet. I don't know if it's a medical record situation that the holdup is right now, but you would have to forgive the NBA. There's a lot of paperwork going through those New York offices right now.
Yeah, it's got to be finalized. That's the big thing. I mean, you have the Kemba trade. Now you have the Nerlens and Alec Burks trade. Like, everything needs to be finalized. It might just be one big trade. I actually don't know how they're going to do it. But, again, I love the approach. And you saw the Fortnite jacket. Shout out to Ryan and Mike in the back. Because that Fortnite jacket Kevin Knox had, man, I can't believe it's on the lower third. It's just hilarious. What'd you say, Spence?
It's the guy from Fortnite.
I mean, Kevin Knox, I'm not going to sit here and crap on the guy. No, I talked to Spencer about it yesterday. Like, he's not a knockdown shooter, but certainly there's upside there with his versatility. And Spence, you kind of hit it on the head, too. Like, you don't have very many good shooters regardless. So, and it's for $3 million, people. Like, that's value.
I think this question from the YouTube chat thread goes to Sam Flannel. Would you take Marvin Bagley over Ben Wallace?
No,
don't get him fired up.
No.
In the modern NBA, I probably would moving forward. But, of course, Marvin Bagley doesn't have the kind of accomplishments that Ben Wallace has. I'm not stupid. But I really like Marvin Bagley. I think he's going to be a solid 17. That is a phenomenal deal. I don't even think we're talking about how good of a deal that actually is for the Pistons. I'm a big Marvin Bagley guy.
And just to sprinkle some on top of that, Sam, I would probably take Ben Wallace because I feel like defensively he's probably better than Marvin Bagley as a whole on both sides. He is. Sorry, Spencer. You correct me on that. He is better than Marvin Bagley as a player. So, but I get what you're saying. Are you trying to the thing you have to always look at, Sam, is don't overthink it. All right? Just say, put Marvin Bagley here, Ben Wallace here. Who you taking? It's Ben Wallace. But the modern NBA, it's like, all that stuff is just crumble it up and just throw it in the trash.
I deleted Sam's camera to try to stop his mic from working, but now I just can't find a way to put it back.
I love Sam. And you said the modern NBA. I feel like Ben would work. I mean, yes, guys. I mean, Robert Williams, he has a role. If you're undersized and Ben can guard 1 through 5, I think he has value in today's NBA, certainly. But offensively, I get where you're coming from. I like what Troy Weaver's been able to do. I mean, we've talked about this. And I'll say it again. Name a time where the Lions, the Pistons, had a great offseason, back-to-back. And arguably both teams won the draft. That's something you have to talk about, man. And I get all these Pistons fans talking about Miles Bridges, and I've been on the train for a long, long time. As soon as free agency starts, I was out on Miles Bridges. I didn't want a player like him. You sign a max contract with him, and now you're seeing everything plan out. And what a terrible situation he's a part of, man. So Troy Weaver, he never wanted him to begin with, him or DeAndre Ayton, considering they got Jalen Duren. So I love his approach. Very patient, and I love it. On the YouTube chat thread, Rack, Neal threatens the chat. Just wait till your father gets home. The father, D-Mac. That is true, you guys. That's the real father.
Yeah.
D-Mac's, I want to see a picture like the guy in the DIA that's riding the horse with the Timbs on. I want a picture of D-Mac riding a moose with an octopus in his hand.
AC says, we took all the garbage from the Knicks. Yeah, I mean, that was the move. They I think the term weaponized cap space is a little aggressive, but they converted cap space because I think that deep down they shared Jeff's sentiments in that with the free agency class, Miles Bridges wasn't a guy
doesn't
that
move the needle.
Right, just in terms of a max contract. And look, to be fair, and I've been banging this drum for a while, and I can't remember if I was with you saying it, I do think that people need to adjust their expectations of what a max contract will get you now in free agency, because as we saw, and we'll discuss this when we come back from the break, the Bookers, the Beals, the Jokers, all those guys, they don't get they're not available.
Yeah, no, they signed an extension.
Yeah, like they're not, and they were never available.
I agree.
And they were never going to be available. So I think we need to pull back a little bit. DeAndre Ayton in today's landscape is close to a max player. That's not. You guys need to separate the market from the player. You know what I'm saying? Like the game of the player versus where we are in the financial market, because those are two distinctly different things.
Yeah. No, you have a point. I mean, you see people now. I think Jokic in his final year is supposed to make $60 million. $60 million. That would be double what you'd be paying, Miles Bridges, DeAndre Ayton. So I get that's a new expectation for guys that are on max contracts. My only problem is really off the court stuff. And another thing is you're paying a guy who had one good year $30 million annually. But yeah, we had this conversation, talking about Jeremy Grant, how that's a guy, like 20-point scorer. You feel comfortable. His versatility, you know what he brings to the table. But again, I think the Pistons are staying the course. They're not overreacting. And that's something that previous Pistons general managers did. They would sign guys, they would jump the gun and try and get a guy this year and go get a DeAndre Ayton. But let's be honest, the Suns came out with a report and they feel that they can get similar value to DeAndre Ayton from another center, and they don't want to pay him. So that's kind of concerning to me as well. But we'll see. We'll see.
Bradley Beal got the bag. I would take the bag over the rings anytime, and you guys know my stance on that. I certainly share that sentiment because the bag's the most important thing until it's not. You know what I'm saying? And my most important thing this weekend is Gypsy Vodka. You know what I mean? Absolutely you do. It's the official drink of summer. The Mulligan is made with Gypsy Vodka. Whether you're out on the golf course, which I will be on Sunday, hanging out in the backyard, the Mulligan is calling your name. Ask for the Mulligan at your local golf course or at a Total Wine near you. And guys, remember, it's 8%, so act accordingly. But it's locally made in Petoskey by the good folks at Gypsy Vodka. Ask for it by name, Gypsy Vodka, the Mulligan, and as always, drink responsibly.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Ciabattas, summer salads, and dip shakes. All at Big Boy. Try a chicken club, chicken cordon bleu, or sunrise ham and cheddar. All on our grilled ciabatta bread. Or keep it light with our Michigan apple, chicken Caesar, or Greek salad. And don't forget to cool off with a frosty hand-dipped cookies and cream or strawberry shake. You heard it here first. Summer just got better.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Folding Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know it, you've heard of it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Folding. There's multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play where you can stay there open until close. They also have private lane reservation for $120, 10 to 12 people. You can bring in any type of food you want. If you get thirsty, they've got a $2 mystery beer vending machine.
Ooh.
You pop in $2. Pops you out a good beer, no hassle, no fuss needed. Know what you want to make a decision. They have multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So come on down, check them out in Hamtramck at the Folding Warehouse, or visit them online at foldingwarehouse.com. Again, that is foldingwarehouse.com.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate in for D-Max and Flannel, Spencer Raxter as well. I love the way that you... And this has become a staple of the read, which I love. I love that you get fuss in there.
Yeah. No hassle, no fuss needed.
Yeah. Fuss. I love that word.
I do too.
It's a great word.
Yeah. I'm a big fuss guy. No fuss.
Yeah, I don't want any fuss, man.
Folding Warehouse, no fuss.
No fuss, man. You know what you're out there to do. The away fan, I'm taking championships over the bag. If your name's on the cup, it never gets taken away. They make more money every day. Very few get to be champions. You start talking $250 million, man.
That's like generational wealth. Children's children.
It goes all the way on forever.
Jokic got bagged up, that is for sure.
And I want to address something, too, because I see people talking about it, and I see it on the prep sheet, too. The free agency, the Jokic, Booker, Cat signing a Supermax. And this is not even just for the prep. This is for all Pistons fans. For people who actually wait till next year and the next year to sign a Devin Booker or Cat. Let me just break some news for you. They're not coming here. And that's the reality of it, the situation. Like, you're not going to be an entertaining destination in 1 year.
Well, it isn't even that, Jeff.
And I think
the rules are set up where they can pay you more money to stay with your team.
And I was
that's the bottom line.
The financial upside, the ability to stay there and get a bag, that's number one. But number two, even if they were free agents, you have to look at where the Pistons are right now. Their way to success is to build with this current core, and hopefully, by our expectations, they turn into those superstars. The Cade Cunninghams, the Jaden Ivies now, Jalen Duren, Sadiq Bey, whoever it is. That's your route to success. You're basing it on homegrown talent. You're not going to go out. I'm sorry, everybody signed an extension financially. Wouldn't you? I mean, look at some of the money these guys are making. Even John Moran, another person who just signed an extension, it's generational wealth. So the reality is, guys, like as much optimism as you can have, it's really Miles Bridges. Like this off season, this free agency class, Neal, was those two guys I can see coming to Detroit. But if we're getting to the big fish, I just don't see it unless you're acquiring them via trade.
And that's why Troy Weaver has to sit on this cap space, because it all boils down to that. The only way you're getting those dudes is it's going to have to be through trade. Yeah. It's going to have to be, I'm not saying guys in the back, don't clip it this way. I'm not saying Pistons need to trade for Kevin Durant now. No, I'm not saying that. But that's the style that it has to go down in. It's got to be where a guy wants out of where he is, and you got to jump in the pool, and you got to find a way to get the job done.
Amen.
That's it.
That's what I've been saying. They have like two paths that they can follow with being a mid-market team. Is the Toronto way, where you build the team, you're a perennial playoff contender, and then you trade for a Kawhi Leonard or a superstar, bring him in, go over the cup. Or the Milwaukee way, where Cade turns out to be...
Where lightning strikes
Cade
in the draft.
turns out to be a top 3 player in the NBA, and you can surround him with second-tier guys. You don't have to go out and sign one of those top-tier free agents. You can get along with getting a Drew Holiday and a Chris Middleton because you have a Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And then a point I want to add to that, like look at Kevin Durant. When he requested a trade, what were the two destinations? Phoenix and Miami.
Right.
Warm weather destinations, number one, but number two, both number one seeds in the league, in the East and West. So not only do you have to be winning, you have to be that's where Kevin Durant wants to go, but you have to be winning, and they have warm weather. So Detroit, you kind of got that fighting against you. So you got to be able to contend, and when they get there, they'll get there. Like the Pelicans did with C.J. McCollum, they went out and got him when they felt like they were on the cusp, and it's looking like it's going to pay off. So
even when we got there, even when we had it, when we were making multiple Eastern Conference Finals every year, like we still didn't get it. You know, it's just the reality of what it is.
It's the tough luck, man.
We're not going to get those guys. So you got to do it how we've done it and how we've won 3 championships.
That's through the backcourt, too.
Yeah.
The Away Fan, our YouTube chat thread, talking about Sam Flannel. This is interesting. I feel as though there's a Mo shift here with Sam Flannel.
Oh, God.
Sam has a personality, interesting takes. He always defends his points. He knows his numbers and stats. I got to give him props for defending his point to D-Mac a while ago. I respect Yosemite.
That took some serious balls.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate that. I think people are kind of coming around to like my personality and how I see sports, which is a lot different than a lot of people do. I'm definitely more of a stat nerd and an analytics guy. And I know a lot of people in Detroit are not. That's why guys like Ben Wallace and Darren McCarty are so damn popular. I'm not saying it to be like insulting. I'm saying that to be like they are personalities. They are heart guys. They are guys who are leaders, whose impact goes far beyond the box score. And for me, I think what you do will show up in a box score. If you are as great as people say you are, if the eye test shows that, it will show up in a box score for most people. Yeah. But Ben Wallace and Darren McCarty, and I wouldn't even say Darren McCarty, in 1997, he had a great year in the regular season and in the playoffs, and he had 2 of the biggest moments in Red Wings history. There, I said it, and I've always thought that. But Ben Wallace is definitely one of those guys who's loved more for like his heart, his personality, and his impact goes beyond the box score, which I will admit I don't appreciate as much as some.
Sam, I am sorry because I actually did close your camera, because I thought you were going to go on Ben Wallace again, and we didn't.
Dude,
Adam has told me to avoid that at all costs, and I can't find how to put it back in. I've literally tried every camera.
If you guys can't see, under Sam is a wheelbarrow, and he's got his nuts inside of it in that studio. Because this man walks around with the biggest nuts I've ever seen, and I love the confidence, Sam. I really do.
Dude, the D-Mac stuff,
that takes some.
That blew my mind. That was some serious balls. It was insane.
The way D-Mac handled it, that's why I love D-Mac, man. He's so humble. Like, Sam could say that to his face, and he just, breaks it down while he's wrong. Like, D-Mac could get up and just probably punch through the glass, but he's a great guy, man. Shout out to D-Mac. Best teammate of all time.
Oh, Duren's MVP. Quote, Pistons need to trade for KD. Neal Ruhl, Woodward Sports Network 2022.
There it is.
You guys are cute, man. I love you guys. I really do. How's the weekend shaping up for you, Jeff Iafrate?
Oh, I'm excited for this weekend, man. I mean, I'm going to be kind of chilling this week. I'm not going to be doing nothing too crazy, monitoring free agency and making content. But I will say this.
Sounds like a banger.
Yeah, such a banger, man.
I will not be monitoring NBA free agency.
Yeah, that's what it entails. I'm on the mission. I'm on a mission.
Are you?
I'm grinding.
I'll be monitoring a bottle of Gypsy Vodka starting on Saturday.
Ooh, lucky you.
That's what I'll be monitoring.
Oh, I'll get there.
I'll monitor the golf course on Sunday. We're doing it like that. Grill some food, the usual.
I'm also going to monitor the golf course on Sunday. My weekend started yesterday, though. I don't know why, but just ended up like that. Can't wait for this after show nap. It's going to hit.
The Hunter House?
It is going to hit.
It's gonna slap.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a 2 double cheeseburgers and an onion ring from Hunter House and take a nice nap in the car.
I like it. Real quick, John Case. Does Dennis Rodman deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, Mr. Sam Flannel?
Yes, he does, but that's a different case because he is the greatest below-the-rim rebounder who ever played NBA basketball, and he was a valuable part of 5 championships, not 1. That does matter, and that does make a difference.
Fair. I can't argue.
He's not
that.
up here. He's not up here BSing you, man.
Yeah.
It's not that bit where people are lining up saying, "I'll take this side, you take that side."
No, yeah. Yeah, that's what I tell people. Like, this is Sam Flannel. This is him. These are his beliefs. He's not, doing it for ratings or anything. This is what he believes, and he sticks by it, and he makes his points. So
yeah. AC says Neal and his electric lawnmower all weekend long. No, you already know. Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse disorder. Check out their podcast called "This Is the F Word." It helps spread awareness of fentanyl and other addictions that, let's be real, are plaguing our community. If you're struggling, or if you know someone else who's struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Again, that's thesportsma.com. Sports Marketing Agency, they're here to help.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Neal Ruhl here for oddstrader.com, the #1 site for all of your game day betting activity. Play-by-play updates, live scores. Most important part of this, guys, the best price on every game from multiple sports books. Pull up the feed, look at the price, boom, that's the one you bet on the game with. Like, it's pretty simple. Why would you give anything away? Get the best price, everybody. Go to oddstrader.com right now to find your best bet. Final segment of a Getaway Friday. Coming into a holiday weekend, Neal Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate, D-Mac is out. He'll be back on Tuesday. We'll break down the whole Derek Lalonde situation. And if you want to go back, do the podcast route, the YouTube channel, subscribe to that. First hour of the show, we talked at length about the addition of UCLA and USC to the Big Ten. We also got into the Red Wings coaching situation, a little bit of the whole NBA madness that went on yesterday as well. Sam Flannel went Sam Flannel. Drop a question in the chat. Anything to anybody here. Why not? Let's ride it off here into the holiday weekend.
I got the first one. Jeff, what needs to happen for us to be an 8 seed or better this year? Ugh. Well, it's going to take Jay Navy to be transcended because I don't think that's happening, my man. They can contend for the play-in maybe, but the East is tough. And I think it's tougher than people think. It's not – people forget, like, the East used to be when LeBron was in. East was the least, all right? And now it is flipped. East is pretty tough, and I just don't think the Pistons will make an 8 seed. That's a tough ask. They'd have to really strike out in free agency. You added Alec Burks, Nerlens Noel, and Kevin Knox. Listen, you got to have a lot of hope in the rookies. I don't think that's happening, my man, but it'll happen soon enough.
In the YouTube chat thread, AC Neal, if you're the Pac-12 commissioner, what do you do now? they'll probably have to go the Band-Aid route, right? I mean, it'll be one of those things where, and I can't remember, is BYU going to the Big 12?
Yes, I think so.
They are going to the Big 12. So I guess I would just apply for the assistant commissioner job at the SEC.
Throw a bag at Notre Dame.
That's what you can't. I keep hearing people talk about that with the Big Ten expansion.
Yeah.
And they it's like they're lording over Notre Dame too, because they always say it the same way. They're like, it's time for you to join a conference, Notre Dame. Notre Dame can do what they want, man. They have their own TV deal.
Yeah.
They don't share money with anybody, and they don't need to. Because, and much like a Michigan, and Michigan fans should understand this, they're a name brand.
Well,
they're like Blue Magic. They're a name brand.
That's trademark infringement.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They call their shots. They do what they want. If they don't want to share money, they don't have to share money. Now, maybe it's one of those situations where the ACC, the reason they're affiliated with the ACC is because they have the most generous terms that allow them to continue their NBC deal, where they get it all. And they're the only aspect to it. So, that's – people act like Notre Dame has to break down and join a conference. No, why would they? Yeah. They have control. Yeah. They have control over their schedule. They don't have to play Ohio State. And I'll give Notre Dame credit. And I don't like Notre Dame. But I'll give Notre Dame credit. The way they schedule football games is pretty impressive as an independent.
Yeah, strategically.
Impressive. They play a good schedule every year. Like when you look at their schedules, and I know a couple years ago it worked out that Tennessee was trash and USC was down and all that. But look at those names they play every year. Mm-hmm. They do a good job of scheduling, as opposed to say Michigan, who gets a Colorado State and a Hawaii and a Bowling Green and does it that way.
I mean, those Notre Dame teams, sometimes you can't control which traditional powerhouses have a down year. You see that with, like Florida State, for example. That's a perfect example. But I still consider that a quality game that you schedule. It's not scheduling a cupcake.
They're not bringing in Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? With all due respect, a rebuilding Hawaii. Now if you had like Hawaii back in the day when June Jones was there, that'd be a different story. But you're UConn and Bowling Green and stuff like that.
Wasn't UConn like one of the worst college football teams of all time last year?
Yes. For the last couple years, as a matter of fact. In the YouTube chat thread, our guy Murph wants to know, do you guys think Zion was worth his max? There was nothing else they could do.
They gave Zion a max?
Yeah.
I missed that?
That's, like Neal says, it's the price of playing poker. All right?
Yeah.
You got a market that isn't very attractive, and you have a guy who, when healthy, is giving you 27 a game. You have to do it. Like, what's your backup plan? I don't think they have one. So it makes sense. I know why he signed it, but do I agree with it? No.
Jackson Hayes is the backup plan.
What'd you say?
Jackson Hayes is the backup plan.
Yeah, you got a point. Another guy who's gotten in some trouble like Miles Bridges has. But, again, I could see why they did it. Makes sense.
I didn't see that. I missed a lot last night, apparently. I mean, makes sense. But
Brandon Catt says Notre Dame does not play a hard schedule. They play no one. Signed Notre Dame is at Ohio State to start the year this year.
But they play no one, Neal.
Yeah. So, that's what they do. Again, we qualified that, brother. Like, we went back to it. When you sign these games, you can't control who fades out and who regresses and all that kind of stuff.
But, Neal, did they play Iowa at home?
Big game.
That's a big game.
Purdue, they play Purdue all the time.
That's a Big Ten championship rematch.
Absolutely.
Gotta look out for those Hawkeyes.
Like playing Clemson. So they play Ohio State and Clemson, and they play BYU at a neutral site. They're at North Carolina. They play Cal, who, they're down, but it's still a Power 5 team. It's not Bowling Green. Boston College, UCLA, they're at USC.
Yeah.
And those are games they control. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could very easily play UConn, they could play Colorado State, they could play Hawaii, they could play UNLV, which they do have UNLV on the schedule this year. They could play Marshall, then they could play the service academies and play Purdue, and be 12-0, and guess where they would go?
College football playoff every year.
Absolutely. Neal Ruhl, Second Furnace. Can we have a CFL minute to end the show to celebrate Canada Day? And I was I was watching some CFL yesterday. Jeremiah Masoli slinging it. Spencer.
Who's taking the Grey Cup?
I do think it's tough to repeat, but I do think Winnipeg's going to repeat. They always figure it out on the last possession of the game. They always do. So it's what Notre Dame plays a 3-game schedule. Yeah, well, 2 of those 3, even if it's 3, are Ohio State and Clemson. So there you have that. So yeah, man, get it in, everybody, this weekend. Be safe though. All right, drink responsibly. All right,
don't be me.
Don't be Spencer Raxter. That's a good guideline.
Yeah.
Don't do ask yourself what Spencer Raxter would do, and then don't do that.
Yeah.
And then ask yourself what Jeff's doing. Monitoring free agency.
Don't do that either. Like, be in the middle of those two.
You gotta find a medium ground.
Tell you what, I'm pounding all 4 of those mulligans back there on the course on Sunday.
There you have it, man.
I'm ready for it.
Hey, everybody. Enjoy the holiday weekend, 4th of July. America, love it or leave it, baby. If you don't love it, you get the hell out. Is that what they say?
Pretty much,
yeah. All right, that's what they say.
America.
For Jeff Iafrate, for Sam Flannel, for Spencer Raxter, my name's Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping in to Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. See you on Tuesday, everybody. Well, see you later.